Hello everyone and welcome to another Foul Original. 1991 was a big year for the then WWF, now WWE. There would be 3 different releases that year for different platforms. We'll look at the other 2 in the next few videos, but today we look at the first WWE game that was released for the Nintendo Game Boy, WWF Superstars. The game was developed by our favourite British developer Rare. Yes, that Rare. The game was published by Acclaim Entertainment for the handheld system. It was released in Europe and North America in 1991 and in Japan in February of 1992. Each of the wrestlers have the same basic moveset made up of attacks like punches and kicks. Some of these attacks are specific to the wrestlers like the previous games. You also have a body slam, grapple moves after picking up an opponent like a pile driver, suplex or headlock with punches. You also have ground attacks like an elbow or knee drop. You also have the ability to hit moves off an Irish whip like a clothesline or drop kick, and top rope aerial moves from the turnbuckle like a flying elbow or knee drop. Following on from the previous games, you can take the fight to the outside of the ring. Kind of. You can throw your opponent over the top rope or hit them with a drop kick through the ropes to take them out. This can be only done once per match and causes a hefty amount of damage to your opponent. The single player mode is similar to WWF WrestleMania on the NES, also by Rare from 1989. You pick one of the 5 wrestlers and then face off against the other 4 superstars in a series of 4 matches. If you win, you become the WWF World Heavyweight Champion. You'll also get an end screen with your chosen superstar too. Each of the matches starts off with a promo between the 2 wrestlers in the match, with a generic line and one specific towards that opponent. For example, Ultimate Warrior will say something different to Mr. Perfect than he will to Hulk Hogan, which adds some variety. After each match, you get comments from Vince McMahon, still in his commentator role from the 1990s, breaking down the action. This was the first appearance of a WWE game on a handheld system, and Rare managed to do extremely well here, in my opinion. The game is of course in black and white here, but would have looked more like this on a real Game Boy. The game is played in a side-on point of view and the sprites are large on screen. The presentation seems similar to the 1989 WWF WrestleMania on the NES, but somehow better. There is a lot more detail given to the sprites, almost arcade-like, and each wrestler is quite recognizable. Promo packages in between each match might seem quite simple and almost laughable now, but these were welcome additions at the time. I'm a big fan of them and remember first seeing them and being amazed. Rare went about developing a unique engine for this game instead of trying to copy what the more powerful home and arcade systems could do. This gave them a chance to create a game which was different yet familiar. This game gives you 5 wrestlers to choose from: Mr. Perfect, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, the Macho King Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, or the Ultimate Warrior. This game is no different from the others in the series so far and gives us an 8-bit version of familiar sounds. First up, the game has a version of the WWF Superstars TV theme playing throughout the intro screen. Of course, you also get 8-bit renditions of each of the 5 wrestlers. You've got It's All About the Money for the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and Perfection for Mr. Perfect 2. This would be the final WWE game developed by Rare. That same year, they would go on to spawn a new game called Battletoads on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The success of that game would end up creating a franchise of its own with ports, crossovers, and sequels. But that's a different story. Next time, we look at another game released in 1991 for microcomputers and personal computers, WWF WrestleMania. Did you play WWF Superstars on the Nintendo Game Boy? Who would you cast as your 5 wrestlers from today if this game is released now? Sound off in the comments. Like the video if you did, subscribe and hit the bell if you would, share if you can. This has been a Foul Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time.